fans, Ryan Aho here from the One to Go Show, bringing you another episode of the BuyRaceShirts.com One to Go Show Superstock Power Rankings. So before we do, we had some stuff go on this past weekend, right? Some big wins. The Fastlane Motorsports Northland Superstock Series underway, 1 week in the books. They're up at the Grand Rapids Speedway tonight, doing the show on Thursday, getting it ready for Friday. So last week, great car counts, tip of the cap to my boy Dennis McCauley. Great job promoting over 50 cars the first two nights, kind of tapered off, always does the second part of that. But Rice Lake, 52 cars, parking it in Victory Lane, the 7A Shane Sabraski, no surprise there, right? Third annual Dave Shackleton Memorial. That's the biggest car count they had. 53 ended up being $3,000 to win. Dave Shackleton, he was a great race car driver, passed away just a couple of years back, won a lot of races in Menominee, Rice Lake, Cedar Lake, kind of in that area. Mopar guy, number 74. I think he had a 29 for a little while as well, running for Vince Weber. But they have a memorial race for him, third annual. The 207, Jesse Radetzky hitting pay dirt in that one. Not without a little drama. We might talk about that in a little bit. He didn't have any drama. Jesse didn't, but there was some drama in that race. And Ogilvy. So Dexton Cook skipped the night before, went to Princeton. It sounded like he might have tore something up there in Rice Lake. So he went home and sounded like he went over to Princeton. He won, but at Ogilvy, he got it done there. Self-inflicted wounds by the 7A. That don't happen often. Shane Sabraski falling out. Looked like a bolt fell out of the body bracing on the nose piece, costing him a win and giving one to Dexton Cook. And then at Granite City, Dennis the Menace, Dennis Zek getting it done. And Shane Sabraski was in tow. He was hunting all over that one. Did not quite have enough to get by Dennis Zek. Another shout out north of the border, guy that I raced against. That means he's kind of old, right? Rick Simpson. Congratulations. 11 years off, hitting pay dirt, winning up at the Thunder City Speedway last week. And Chernosky, David Simpson, there's some pretty good drivers up there. Rick Simpson taking and putting a 77 car in Victory Lane. So let's jump into this week's power rankings. Before we do, a little shout out to BuyRaceShirts.com. So if you need hats, shirts, apparel, hoodies, jackets, banners, you name it, where do you go? You go to somebody that supports racing. Who's that? BuyRaceShirts.com. Great products at a great price with great customer service. They'll take good care of you. Check them out. At number 10, we're going to put old Chitwood in here. 21, Joey Jensen. This week, Rice Lake DNF, Red Cedar Speedway has a big DQ. Dairy Queen treats for Joey Jensen. Fourth at the Cedar Lake Speedway. So 2 wins on the year and 10 tries. He's been quick. That car's really fast. He's going to win some races. But, Joey, come on, guy. Chill pill, man. You need to woosah, right? You need to relax just a little bit. Sounds like I didn't get to see it. I didn't see the contact, but little contact with Daragon during the race. And sounds like he gave him a little chin music after the race of the quarter panel. I don't know how bad it was. The video that I saw didn't show it. But evidently the officials saw it and they said, thank you for playing, but you're not getting a check tonight. Joey, you know better, man. You've been a good racer for a long time. You gotta kind of relax just a little bit, guy. All right. At number 9, Dustin Nelson. 4 wins on the year, 11 podiums and 13 tries. Now, this week, Princeton, he got second behind Dexton Cook. He won up at North Central. I get it. I got to give this guy some crap, right? I mean, like, dude, you're from Ogilvy. They got a fast lane race in your hometown. I just don't get it. I know he's got family and stuff that goes up to Brainerd, but, I mean, he's strong. When he runs at home, he's really strong. When he runs Princeton and Brainerd, he kind of sticks to those tracks, Grand Rapids. I kind of wish he would have run the tour. I think he would have competed well, but just opted out of it, wanted to hit the local stuff. So Dustin Nelson at number 9. At number 8, Dylan Nelson in the 25. So he's leading. Okay, so he switched over, new chassis this year, struggled a little bit to begin the season. Then he started rattling off some podiums, some good runs, got 1 win, got 7 podiums now in 14 shows. That's 7 podiums probably in about the last 10. So he's been pretty solid. But this week and on the series, he got 3rd at Rice Lake, 11th at Red Cedar. That wasn't a great night. But then he got a 4th at Ogilvy and a 5th over at Granite City. What does that mean? That means he's a point leader. He's hungry. He's looking for a second straight Northland Superstock Series championship here. And if he keeps running consistent like that, he's going to be in the driver's seat. He's leading the way right now, Dylan Nelson at number 8. At number 7, the 207, Jesse Radetsky. 9 races, not been off the podium even once. 3 wins, and congratulations, my friend, on a Dave Shackleton Memorial. That's his biggest win. $3,000 in the pocket for him, 7th to 2nd up at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Asked him, why are you not running the series? And car owner, there's some health issues there that were going on, and it just wasn't in the cards for them this year. It's probably a good thing for everybody else because he put it to the boys at the one tour race he attended. I don't know. That might have been kind of a repeat on a couple of them. The 207, really good this year. 9 podiums in 9 races. Don't get too much better than that. He's at number 7. At number 6, driver from up in northern Minnesota, Kelly Lake, hitting car, Tristan LaBarge. So Tristan LaBarge this past week, another win up at the Hibbing Raceway. What does that mean? 6 straight wins going into tonight's action. They're up at the Donlinger Ford Grand Rapids Speedway, and his worst finish on the year, incidentally, in 7 races is 2nd. So he ain't been out of the top 2 yet, including a $1,000 to win payday. He won the Lisa Vidal Memorial as well. Now, we'll see, right? At 38 Superstocks rolling into town tonight in Grand Rapids, some pretty darn good ones. Can he keep the streak alive? He's had a great year so far. LaBarge at number 6. At number 5, north of the border, Cole Chernosky from Thunder Bay. So this week, he got 3rd at the Shackleton. Came down, right? Came down to the States. He's won races in Menominee, but he came down and he was on the podium at the Dave Shackleton Memorial, 5th at Ogilvy. So he ran 2 of the tour races in the top 5 at both of them. Job well done. That's good racing. 8th to 1st last night at the Thunder City Speedway. Chernosky's strong. I just don't know if he's going to race enough to be a title contender. We're going to put him at number 5. At number 4, maybe he could be a little higher, but for now he's not. Dexton Cook. So he leads Wissota Superstock Racers in the win count with 8 wins. Okay. Now, I believe the next closest would be 6. That would be Tristan LaBarge is at 6. Now, here's the deal. Kind of dodging competition, right? Tonight, he could have been at the fast lane race up in Rapids, racing 6 cars in Wilmer. Come on, guy. What are we talking about here? He went to Princeton. They said it was, I don't know. But when he does show up to race against more cars, he's in the conversation. So you can't take that away from him, right? I mean, he did win Ogilvy. That was a fast lane race, right? He won that race. He was there. He was in the conversation. So this last week, he got 7th at Rice Lake. I think he got beat around. There was a little carnage in that race. Then he won at Princeton. Then he got 1st at Ogilvy. Then he got 3rd. He was on the podium at Granite, too. So, I mean, quite honestly, if you would have raced Menominee instead of Princeton, if you would have been able to get over there, he might have been the point leader in this deal. But he wasn't. So we're going to kind of slide him back. I'm not sure. I know he's hungry. He's trying to get a national championship in there, but it just grinds my gears when somebody that good is not racing against the best. I mean, it kind of, we're gonna keep you out of the top 3 for now for that. So Dexton Cook at number 4. At number 3, Terrence Spacek. So last week on the tour, not what I expected, right? On the One to Go show, I predicted he was going to win a couple. I might have jinxed him, right? Because he was literally undefeated, except for the 2 DNFs he had. Then he rattled off he hadn't lost a race, right? Well, he ran 4 races this week and didn't win a one of them. Probably my fault. He got 6th, 2nd, 7th, and a DNF in the tour races, and 5 Wissota wins. 1 win is over at Jerry's World, Jim Falls. Terrence Spacek looking for a little rebound this week in the 22T. We're going to put him at number 3. At number 2, the Iron Man, Shane Sobraski. A couple self-inflicted wounds in there. I saw the bolt. I saw the pictures. The bolt fell out of the strap on the right front nose. That's self-inflicted. Rumor has it drain plug fell out of the gears. If that's actually true, that is also self-inflicted wounds right there. You can't have that when you're trying to win a national championship. He knows that, right? And probably not his fault. Who knows, right? But 5 wins on the year. This last weekend, he put it to him at Rice Lake. DNF, of course, at the Shackleton and at Ogilvy. And then he got second. Well, what does that mean? If he finishes, he's in the top 2. That's just who he is. 12 podiums and 17 tries. Who can beat the 7A? Well, apparently the 7A can beat the 7A. That looks like what happened this past weekend. He's a step up from both the 22T and the 78K. He's just a little bit better than them. That just is what it is. We're going to put him at number 2. But the next guy is just everything's clicking, right? Before we get to that, little shout out to our friends at Dirt Race Central, the official streaming platform for Wissota Auto Racing and of the One to Go show. Get yourself a subscription under $200 for the entire year for all the racing they have to offer. There ain't enough time in a day to watch all of them, but man, I tell you what, they got all the good stuff for Wissota Auto Racing, Dirt Race Central. At number 1, Warner, South Dakota's 71, Trevor Nelson. This past weekend, features rained out in Aberdeen. First at Miller. Okay, now Aberdeen ain't been great. They've had some issues over there. Hopefully they get them ironed out, because if you're starting back in the 4th row and the track ain't all that terribly good, that might cost you some wins. So hopefully that doesn't happen, because he won't have enough shows to be able to throw away nights for a bad racetrack. So Aberdeen, get it together. So him and the 7A, they need to see more of each other. Not sure Shane Sabraski agrees, but he probably does, because Shane Sabraski likes to race against good race cars. Trevor Nelson is a good race car. He put it to him at the last time they raced, and at the 100 last year, in case you forgot. So for now, the number 1 driver in the BuyRaceShirts.com One to Go Show Superstock Power Rankings, that's Trevor Nelson.